Hi, this is Jera from Support Carry Zilean, and today we are going to watch some gameplay footage from patch 7.5. The special thing about this game is that we are going to see Stoneborn Pact with Zilean to see how it does or doesn't make a difference in the game. I chose this specific game because it is very even and not one-sided by the mid-game. So there are certain struggles which will become evident in this game, but for the most part, it's a pretty even game. So we are laning against a Thresh and Caitlyn as Ezreal and Zilean. This matchup is heavily favored for the Thresh-Caitlyn lane, which means we should play very safe and try and capitalize on their mistakes, or if we get jungle help. The items I chose to start with are Ancient Coin and Refillable Potion. Ancient Coin gives me enough health regen in lane to make the Refillable Potion a backup sustain item. Since I won't be spending any more money on potions this game, the quick investment of 150 gold up front helps me speed up my item build without me missing out on too much health regeneration in lane. Now we are pushed onto our tower, but Caitlyn keeps trying to weave in extra auto attacks under the turret. I throw the Zilean slow, which allows me to safely land a double bomb and forces her to use flash and heal. Thresh uses ignite to all in the Ezreal but gets caught under tower, and Caitlyn is way too low to follow up. Right now both lanes are recovering after that all in, but I still have both my flash and exhaust up. My mana is low, so I'm pooling because I need a minimum of 155 mana to do a double bomb combo. Before, we had to play our lane very passively, but now we are in a position to start bullying out the Caitlyn. I'm walking towards the bottom bush to keep Ezreal safe from hooks. I do eat a Thresh hook, but Thresh fails his play and is out of offensive spells. We quickly shift focus onto Caitlyn. I am able to land an easy double bomb because she's animation lock casting her build over Peacemaker. Thresh did not make it quick enough, so I had to slow on him. I pick up the quick double kill, which grants me plenty of gold, but keep in mind I only have 11 AP and I am not a big damage dealer. But I'm always trying to get extra auto attacks in, so I do a surprising amount of damage. You may have noticed the +2 healing on Ezreal that last fight. That's the small incremental healing that you get from Stoneborn Pact. The objective of this build is to quickly finish Eye of Oasis and then build right into Ardent Censer. In this build, I do end up buying Tear of the Goddess because it helps so much during lane. It allows me to always have enough mana for spells, and it scales quite well into the late game. During this pack, I also upgrade my coin into Nomad's Medallion, which gives me even more gold and health regeneration in lane. I didn't have enough for a Sightstone, so instead I just pick up 2 pink wards. I noticed that our jungle Pantheon is on the bottom side of our jungle, so I use my first pink ward in the bottom river brush, which signals to Pantheon that there's no vision and ganking our lane would be great. So Thresh misses his hook, and that's our cue to go all in. I do miss my double bomb combo, thinking that Caitlyn is going to run towards her tower, but instead she moves towards river. I am 2 creeps away from Chrono Shift, which would have saved Ezreal, but he got greedy and flashed for the kill anyways, so Pantheon and I shoved the lane and we both returned to base. So I'll be returning to base with 500 gold, so I pick up boots and another pink ward. The boots will help me dodge skill shots and be more mobile to get in to land the slow, which will help me land the stun. Uh-oh, Ezreal gets hooked, and I didn't manage to save him with my ultimate. This is 100% my fault because I underestimated the damage that they were going to put out. So what I do is I just quickly apologize to him, come up with a pretty good excuse. Even with boots, I do end up getting hooked, but thankfully I still have my ultimate and I'm able to revive. Normally at this point, Caitlyn will throw a trap directly under me, or whoever gets revived, but luckily her spells were on cooldown, so I managed to escape. I land my slow and stun on Caitlyn, and Ezreal follows up, which forces Caitlyn to burn her flash since Thresh left toward the river. After some more tomfoolery, we trade Ezreal's heal for Thresh's splash, but Pantheon is following up and jumps behind and picks up the quick kill onto Caitlyn. Since I have some free time after that gank, I check the bushes for pink wards, and then I'm going to return to base. On this back, I'm going to pick up Sightstone, I'm going to switch out my warding trinket for the sweeper, and I'm going to pick up one additional pink ward. Pantheon wants to return back to the lane to do a lane gank, so I throw a pink ward in the bush so he doesn't waste time in that bush if it is warded. I walk forward to apply some pressure and bait for the Pantheon. I exhaust the Thresh because I know Caitlyn won't be getting away. I throw the second Braum in front of her direct escape route, which forces her to either eat the stun or walk back into the Pantheon, which is a lose-lose situation for her. Fizz moves into our jungle to contest our blue, so I go to try and assist Pantheon. He dies, and I severely underestimate Fizz's damage, so I don't bother using the ultimate until it's too late. I didn't expect the 423 damage from his one auto attack, so I'm pretty salty and I express myself in team chat. I finish my Eye of Oasis and I start on the Ardent Censer. I want to work on the CDR component first and then start the AP part. Despite all of the problems that Fizz caused, we were able to pick up the return kill on him, as well as 3 more kills on the bottom lane and the jungle. Now that we are moving out of laning phase, I start roaming more to try and establish vision on the bottom half of the map. Zed is pushing the top tower hard, so we're going to try and rush down the mid tower to try to get that extra gold from the first turret kill. We get the first turret and Jarvan gets fished. I almost mistime my ultimate, but Jarvan is durable enough to withstand the burst and he dies to the bleed. We keep up the crowd control on the Fizz and Veigar gets another kill. The supports have been trading ward kills, but now I suspect that a gank probably will be coming soon just because how eager Thresh is positioning and he's just fishing for hooks and he's so far forward. Lo and behold, a wild Vi appears. Ezreal is able to create enough distance to get away, so Vi ults me instead. I flash under the turret and use exhaust to lower her damage output. This causes her to retreat immediately instead of going for the kill. Ezreal is kind enough to block the Caitlyn ult. You'll notice that once the mark is on me and I am behind Ezreal, I stop moving completely. This is a pretty awesome play. I land the double bombs onto the minions and stun Kate, who had flashed, and clean up the kill onto her. This is a pretty impressive play, because if I would have tried to land the double bombs on her, the second bomb would have missed completely due to the flash. But since the minions were stationary, the bomb detonation was in range for both pre- and post-flash. Fizz ends up getting another 2 kills, which is very bad news for our team. I head top to counter-push the wave if Zed or Fizz were to continue pushing, but they don't, so I just leave too. Pantheon tries to force a play, which results in a bunch of ults being used, but no summoners were burned and no kills were given. Things start going poorly now that Fizz has been moving around the map collecting kill after kill. There are 5 people bot, so it is very, very dangerous to be anywhere near this side of the map. I make a very risky play to stick around and clear the wave when there were just 5 people bot. I use my sweeper to see if there are any wards in the bush or if there's a champion hiding out there. Once again, this is extremely risky because there were 5 bot and the enemy just taking the dragon. So I would have no backup whatsoever, and they could easily dive me and kill me. At the 20-minute mark, I have just completed my Ardent Censer. This is a little bit ahead of schedule because I was able to get the extra kills in lane, the assists, and some CS for shoving out the waves. Things start slowing down at this point, and basically I'm just going to hang out with Ezreal and try and set up vision around the map. We get into a fight again, and Vi just happens to show up. So this is a very easy kill onto Ezreal. The Chrono Shift buys me enough time to get out without them turning onto me. Now I decide that I need a little bit of magic resist for Fizz, and I decide to pick up the Mercury Treads. I start working on Redemption, but I only have enough for the gold health component, so I am missing out on a little bit of CDR right now. We try to make the pick onto Fizz, but we end up getting collapsed on 2 sides, which causes some strange retreat paths, and so we lose 2 people. Vi jumps on me and I have to flash to get under tower. I use the slow on her instead of myself, which allows my team to follow up, land more CC, and finish her off. So this is a really cool interaction right here. I throw double bombs to the closest target, which is the Jarvan flag. The bombs attach to the flag, which causes the stun detonation, which does catch out Caitlyn. This is a pretty sweet interaction that I didn't know about. The teamfight continues and it gets a bit messy. I have a few targets for my ultimate, but I end up choosing the person who is marked by Zed, which is the most predictable and the highest amount of burst damage. We end up getting 3 kills on the enemy for the death of Ezreal, which is a very good trade on our part. Zed and Fizz are both top trying to assassinate Ezreal, but of course I'm not gonna let that happen. The reason I'm not helping out with Baron right now is that my damage is so low that I would be more useful double bombing the choke points and setting up vision so that the enemies can't get close to Baron. Since I'm moving to the bottom tower objective with Jarvan, I wanted to set up some vision on the bottom side of the map. I make a mistake and I get caught out and die after, and once again I do underestimate the Fizz's damage. I see a fight break out bot, and I immediately throw down the Redemption, which does some decent healing and procs the Ardent Censer buff onto Ezreal. We get a pick onto Thresh and look to close out the game with our Baron buff. In this game, Ardent Censer and Stoneborn Pact have made a minor impact. Since auto attacks and on-hit effects trigger the heal, there weren't many opportunities to capitalize with this composition. The healing from Pact is minimal, but the on-hit heal from Ardent Censer is much more noticeable. A team with auto attack based champions would have made Pact a much better option, but even without this being the most optimal time to take Stoneborn Pact, the Zilean was still able to offer a fair amount of healing and buffs from this mastery. We quickly finish the game and collect our sweet LP gains. And once again, thanks for watching, and if you want to learn more about Support Zilean or have questions about the build order, you can check out www.supportcarryzilean.com. Thanks, and have a good one!